Hello, welcome to something different. I just acquired my new Hotas T Flight Mod for my PC. There you go. Don't know if you've seen a shot of that, but yes, there is a Glock 17 airsoft pistol in there. And my PC is full of Deadpools. Anyway, so after 6 years of owning that one, it finally broke. But I just use that on the PC. That's all I use it on the PC. So, I'm going to mod it. I'm going to remove that annoying little divot thing you have at half throttle, and you go nink and it sits there. Because usually when I'm hovering in a helicopter, it's usually just after it, and every time I put it there, it goes click straight back in. And sometimes on some of them, it's just before it, so you just pull it back, like, just pretend I'm hovering, and you just do very, very small increment, and it goes dick straight back in. Dink. Right, so after all this time, this one has broke. Oh, here's another hint for you. On the bottom, if you want your flight stick really tight, just do that up. Just tighten that up, and it gives you a little bit more restriction in the flight stick itself. But yes, 6 years, and this thing is done. Now I'm gonna do it in stages, so I will be taking this out of the box, and the Hotas 4, I've done that one. I took the little divot out, so the little hold at half throttle. I've taken the thing out, and that's the first time ever I've been able to hover in a helicopter properly, believe it or not, on Microsoft Flight Sim on the PC, because the Hotas 4 is for PS. So I'm going to do the same with this, and I've got the Hotas 5 turning up, which is exactly the same as this. The difference is on the Hotas 5, on the Hotas 4, sorry, it doesn't have them, but it's just got a PlayStation logo on it. But these buttons, it does not have. Now I've got a completely different mapping situation on the PC, because on the 4 I use these buttons, and these I use for something different. So the bonus I get in the 5 is, especially if you run the PC, I like the Hotas, it's a good flight stick. The difference is, if I'm running the PC and then I go down, I have to remember the mapping on that flight stick, because it's different. So now I've got the Hotas 5 turning up, I can get all the mapping off my flight sim up here and put it in on the one down there, and then all the buttons will be exactly the same, running flight sim on the PC and running flight sim on the PS. Perfect. You can call me a snob if you want, but I play DCS on here. I play 2020 on here. I prefer 2020 to 2024. The planes feel more real. There's a little bit more restriction in older aircraft, like tighter, which is what we should be like. Hey ho, that's by the by, because, you know. But I'm going to be doing this with you guys in slow stages. And there's a couple of tips in this that you won't find on other ones that are like the videos you watch on YouTube. There's one slight thing that they don't mention that I will, because if you don't get that bit right, or you do that wrong, same thing really, you will never be able to use that flight stick again. And I'll show you that when I get to it. There we go, she's out of the box. All nicely separated. So this is what I'm talking about. Well, you push it over, and a little bit of play in the middle, and you have to push it over. So when I'm hovering, it's just like there. It's like in between there and there, and it just doesn't work. And I don't like it. A real aircraft don't have a hole, a divot on the throttles halfway, so that will be going bye-bye. And the tools you'll need is, I've got gloves, got some all-purpose grease, because you have to replace the grease that's in the bottom that's holding that. A good Phillips screwdriver, and I use my trusty old file. You can use what you want. And there are 8 screws, and one there, one there, one there, one there, and there is one. You can tell how new it is. I ain't even taking the wire out. There's one right in there, if you can see that one, and then same places. One there, and there's one under this wire. In that groove there, just in there. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's just in there. You can see there. So there's 8 screws in total. And then I'll show you what happens when that comes off, because, well, see this little thing in here. So when you undo these, this bottom plate will just pull off, and you just pull that through and move the base down the wire so it's out of the way. I'll show you when I've done it. Ready? See you in a minute. Well, that was a quick minute, wasn't it? Anyway, so I have separated the base just by undoing the screws and just pulled it. So you just pull that out of the thing. You can put it straight back in to that groove there. So you can see there is a groove lip right in the middle there. And the throttle's actually. So there, now it's holded. It's held at half throttle. Now this is a bit I'm going to tell you about. So these screws, these two, are a pain in the ass, right? Once you undo them, this back plate comes off, and then there is like a little spring and a plastic cup kind of thing that fits in underneath that, and that's where the little divot is on that fits in that groove. But while that's off, your flight stick, your throttle stick, can move outwards because there's nothing retaining it, and that little black thing there, if that comes out of that box that it's holding, it's an absolute pain in the backside to get back in. Make sure that is in the slots before you screw it back together, because if you screw it back together and that is not in there, it will break, and that is your throttle sensor position. So if that breaks, your throttle will no longer work. So if you do this mod, just make sure that is in that box before you screw that back down. And I'll undo that and I'll show you what I'm talking about once I get that off. I can't film and do it at the same time because unfortunately I'm not a professional. I don't have a great big setup. I'm using my phone and that's it really. So alright, I'll do that and I'll show you. Right, so taking that off, hold it down while you do it. It's got a spring under it, and this little puppy here, that spring's fine, that is your little groover, and that's what we're going to be removing. So I'll get that piled off and I'll show you. So I've got it all out, I filed it down. This is why you need the grease. That's the middle, that's where it sits in the middle. But now it's gone. You just got a trusty old, but you can use a Dremel, you can use what you like. But the one thing you do need after all this is this, some good old all-purpose grease, because this is covered in it, because that's covered in it. And actually there wasn't a lot of grease on that one, so bop, in we go. And I'll just get that covered, and then we'll start getting sorted to get that back together again. And then I'll put some onto this. Never have too much grease. Right. Let's see what we can do with this. There we go. We're back together. Just be careful of lining them screws. Are a pain in the backside with a huge spring holding them. But we have a pure, nice, smooth throttle. That's just what we wanted. Now we're going to get it back together. And there we have it. We are back together. And nice tight throttle as well. And it goes exactly where I want it, which is perfect. If anyone from Thrustmaster or anyone associated with Thrustmaster sees this, which they probably won't, but sorry, can you sell that little piece without that on it, so that people can just fit it and then they don't have to have that? Or it's just annoying. And some people are going to say, why did you have to do that? I think it's fine, I think it's alright. Well, for a start off, it's not a real flight control, and it's annoying, and I can't hover in a helicopter. And I've done it on my Hotas 4, I've done it on this Xbox One, and I will be doing it to the Hotas 5 for the PS when it comes as well. And hey presto, it just after the point where it would hold it in the middle. And there you are, a perfect hover in the Huey. If you look, see, my vertical is perfectly right in the middle where it should be. My altitude is not moving, very slightly, but that's fine, you're in a hover, it's going to move slightly. And there we go. Normally I fly in VR, so I would say job fixed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be doing that on my Hotas 5 for the PS5 when it turns up on Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday it's supposed to be due. So I hope you enjoyed the little video. I wish I could have shown you more of taking it apart and all that, but yeah, I couldn't. So happy holidays. Thanks for watching.